Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is the sequel to Beetlejuice. It's been many years. To be very forward, I'm not a huge fan of the first film. I watched it a couple years ago. I don't even remember what happens in it, to be honest. I believe it's about a pair of ghosts who live in a house, and they hire a bioexorcist to chase out a family that lives there, and then Beetlejuice shows up and he wants to marry Lydia Deetz, the teenage daughter. And they have to get rid of him too, and it's a very wacky, gag-filled cartoon of sorts, like a cartoon-like movie. Lots of colorful characters and puppetry and weird stuff from the mind of Tim Burton. And it has a huge cult following, but I never watched it in my youth, so I don't have that nostalgia goggles on. I was more of a Ghostbusters kind of fan, or Super Mario Brothers. Sometimes when you watch something when you're a kid, you sort of like it more. Even when as an adult, if it's different or not as fun, you still have that sort of personal connection to it. So I don't have that with Beetlejuice. So I really quite enjoyed the sequel. The sequel takes place many years later. Lydia Deetz is now has Astrid, her daughter, and she also has a successful ghost show where she interviews people who have ghostly phenomenon, and she can see ghosts as well. But she's got a scummy manager boyfriend named Rory, and she keeps seeing Beetlejuice in her dreams, and he's kind of like trying to get back in there. However, something happens with Astrid when she has the inherited ability to see ghosts as her mother, and this ghost wants to come back to life with the help of her and takes her to the underworld. So, you know, he might have, you know, he takes her and puts her in danger essentially because, you know, she's going to the afterlife. So Lydia has no choice but to summon Beetlejuice and make a deal with him in order to get her daughter back. So there's also other subplots going on. Willem Dafoe plays like a campy actor turned paranormal detective, and he's just sort of there chewing scenery, having fun. Then there's Monica Bellucci. She wants to suck the soul out of Beetlejuice because it's her first husband. There's some lore building there. Really great sequence. This movie I loved it. It was a laugh riot. Lots of jokes, gags, a puppetry. It sort of captured the charm of the original. It felt like a live-action wacky cartoon. Everyone's just performing at peak performance. Catherine O'Hara, Michael Keaton, Willem Dafoe, you know, Monica Bellucci in the small scenes she's in. Jenna Ortega does a really good job because she kind of plays it straight. She's like the straight woman to the wackiness of Beetlejuice. And, you know, Beetlejuice is still after Lydia. And they do a workaround with Charles Deetz. They kill off the character and use his likeness. But I don't think Jeffrey Jones gets paid because they used photos from the first film and they found a workaway. This is a respectful way to, you know, tribute the character and not the actor. You know, I honestly thought Jeffrey Jones was dead when I watched the movie, but he's actually still alive and he's a bad bloke. So, you know, that's out of the picture. But overall, you know, the movie's got a lot going on. It's very frantic, messy. It's got all these plot lines. They introduce all these characters. I loved it. It's a little bit slow to start, you know, maybe like 30 minutes, and then boom, it just takes off. And it's like a live-action, wacky cartoon full of crazy musical numbers and chases and puppets and cool things. And I really like the unhinged sort of chaotic nature of the entire movie. Beetlejuice is a solid sequel, definitely. I probably even like it more than the first, which might be blasphemy, but that's okay. And I gave it a 7 out of 10.